So we are here in round 3, and many people are probably a little bit surprised that coming into the third round, Hera is not number 1 in the group. Hera has yet to get a 3-0. Both set wins have been 2-1s. And I was just saying, I don't think we've seen the best from Hera yet. I really don't. I think while he was overall still very sharp, by the high standards we have for him these days, I think he's still slightly rusty. He's got a level to bring that's much higher. And right now, above him with 3 more wins is Sato. And so Hera has some catching up to do if he wants first in the group. Now, Hera did play 3 rounds. So Hera, in order to tie Sato in the group and actually be first on the tiebreak, at least, would be, he's got to get the 3-0 here. Now, there's a lot to talk about with Hera. There's high expectations for him. But Classicpro, in most people's predictions, because I'm a super nerd, and I went through and looked at dozens and dozens and dozens of predictions on the prediction contest, they predicted that he would be relegated. And I'm included in that. I didn't think that he would be able to stay top 4 in this group. And what I expected was Classicpro to maybe be 5th or 6th, and for Nikov to end up falling into the 4th spot. Or 3rd spot, I forget which I put Nikov. But after Classicpro beat Nikov 2-1, and let's keep in mind that Nikov had a very good performance against Hera in the early rounds. Now, Classicpro, after 2 rounds, has 3 wins. If he can snag a win or 2 off of Hera here, he's thinking playoffs. So, Classicpro is a player who is played really sharp, and I know he's been training, and it's looked good so far. And so he's here in the yellow playing as the Portuguese. We've got the Khmer for Hera, which he did before. I actually forget which player he was playing, but he went for Khmer before. This is a very good pick on this map, in my opinion. I think this civilization has a 100% win rate so far on this map. I think I saw it in gold once, and I think I saw it in platinum twice. Tato did it as well. It's so helpful. Like, if you ever get attacked, you can hop inside of houses, and you can just open up with your military, your scouts or your archers right away, and it just makes life so easy compared to your opponent, because you cannot wall in this rock terrain. So you just place a house right here, and that can be a safe spot for gold miners and lumberjacks later on. Now, what Tato did when he played this, he actually skipped the mill. He farmed without even going for the mill. So basically, the lumberjacks are protected because of, like, the houses. And then the farmers are all around the TC, so they're protected there too. So I'm wondering if Hera will do that. I think Hera might want to opt to squeeze in horse collar, but, like, honestly don't mind what Tato did there. I think when Tato played on the map, he did fall a little bit behind in that game. If you guys didn't watch the Capwatch Tato series and the Rocky Forest game, it was crazy. So worth a rewatch later, but anyways, Capwatch was Chinese. I would consider Chinese to be easily number 1 or number 2 on this map. But right behind them, I would say Khmer. Right behind them, I'd probably incorporate Portuguese. I actually am a really big fan of Byzantines on this map. They've looked really well, are really strong. The Byzantines, kind of solid on any map, though. So no loom for Hera. He's up with 16 vills, so 17 pop. This is a crazy uptime for him. And yeah, I think this is a build where you just can't get horse collar. It's so fast. It's kind of wild how greedy he's playing this, too. Like, he's going to push in another deer and then go get his sheep. Or pigs, excuse me. So... But, like, this is a map where usually you're seeing players just push deer. We have seen players go for, like, man-at-arm openings on this map. I don't think Hera's expecting that from Portuguese, though. But if there was another civ, like, I don't know, Japanese, Malians, those are the maybe 2 civs that come to mind. I don't think we'll see Goths played, but certain openings should be more viable in this map. Like, man-at-arms should be pretty strong on a map where you can't small wall. So we'll see. Hera's just pushing in that deer. Hera will be up. And Classicpro is building up slowly towards the TC, but will always be that gap right there. So, wow, so Classicpro is going to go to gold. That's weird. That's interesting. So he wants to go archers. So it'll probably be archer spear. And Hera's going to drop that stable. And Hera will start to wall up a little bit. Again, there's just going to be these 2 areas of entry. Archers isn't necessarily bad, but archers alone is probably not going to cut it. He'll know that it's going to need to be a combination of archers and scouts later on. So I think the idea is you force Hera into skirms. And if Hera goes skirms, then you go for your own scouts. Close fight. Coin flip. Who wins it? Hera wins it. And there's really nothing Classic Pro can do about that except cross his fingers. And hope that he gets the fight. Wins the fight. Now, he does lose his scout. But Hera's scout is now pretty weak, so I guess that's a decent enough trade. I don't know. Depends on how you look at it, but... Khmer, one of the best civs at applying pressure and just staying ahead in the military count. And if Hera doesn't have any missteps with his military, he should always have that lead. He's already got the range coming up as well. This is super fast. Super streamlined. But he just took 2 hits there. Now, he's going to steal sheep because that's what he does. That's what he does. He's going to try and steal that, and that pig's going to go away. Not the end of the world for Classic Pro, honestly. He's still got plenty of food here. And Hera might actually give him the pig back and then kill it. Yep, smart move. But Hera's scout control has been pretty poor so far. He's got a lot of weak scouts here, so... The initial scout took hits, but now all these other scouts have taken hits as well. So not a good day to be a Hera scout. They definitely feel lied to. They thought coming to this economy would be good. But so far, Classic Pro's done a pretty nice job. Archers are actually going to head that way. Oh, that's interesting. Now, I really like that move here. From Hera's perspective, he doesn't know exactly where those archers are. And he's got his skirms here. But sometimes it's what you don't see that tells you what you need to know. So if he's really looking thoroughly and doesn't see any archers, he might be thinking they're sneaking. A lot of players are going to snag Town Watch here if they're uncertain. Classic Pro dropping a tower. Classic Pro still has the spear. Classic Pro has the archers inside the range. Okay, he ejects them now. And Hera seems to be... I think Hera thinks those archers are in the middle right now. Well, Classic Pro is good eco. Everything's been protected. Hera's going for that big buildup of scouts and skirms. But he definitely seems to be looking around for that army right now. He doesn't seem to have much of a clue where it is. And he must have maybe just spotted it. Fletching is in for Classic Pro. Let's see if he can get some Vil picks. It would be amazing for Classic Pro if he could kill some villagers there. But he gets spotted by Hera. Hera was waiting for him. And yeah, Hera knew what was up there. That's a bit of a weird one, right? Like, I think you're always going to lose this army. So I do wonder if it's worth engaging and to just snipe a villager. Maybe he won't lose it, though. I mean, Hera's scouts are probably just going to hope to sacrifice themselves so the archers can be killed. That could be worth it for Classic Pro. And now Classic Pro has middle control because Hera is no longer there. Hera loses 2 scouts. Classic Pro is going to lose 2 archers, and he could lose the spears as well. And Hera's going to be pretty happy with that. Hera also snagged horse collar, by the way, so all the new farms are going to have lots of food. And yeah, he's chasing all this down. This is where I'm expecting big army from Classic Pro through the middle. But I'm expecting scouts, and I'm not looking at his base and seeing a stable right now. So I think like the archer opening in my mind is all a setup play so you can go scouts. It's actually a perfect situation. Hera has very few scouts himself, very little HP, and only skirms otherwise. But Classic Pro's like, your skirms aren't in position anymore, pal. So here I am. And Hera just really doesn't have army. And I remember in the Sato game, there was a lot of respect shown towards Hera. There was not, like, when there was an opportunity to do damage, Sato kind of backed away and seemed scared. You could tell, like, Hera can hop in and out of houses. There's skirms here. There's a lot of reasons to be scared if you're Classic Pro. But still, only 5 villagers can fit inside each house. Let's see if Hera could do the dance here. So far, it's been really good. Classic Pro, though, with some nice control here. I mean, this is not a good situation for Hera to be in. And Hera loses a Vil. Hera can only fit so many villagers inside the house. Classic Pro still microing around. Hera still hasn't lost another Vil, but he's gonna lose. No, he won't lose another, but he can't hide anymore. That's so funny, man. That's so funny. He can't hide anymore. So Hera only lost 1 Vil. And so, I mean, I think Hera's gonna take that trade. I still like it from Classic Pro, though. Like, what else are you going to do? Sit back and just not apply any pressure there? That's just not a good move. And wow, is he going to run around the outside again? It feels like he is. Also, think about Hera's army right now. Hera's army can't kill Classic Pro because Classic Pro is walled to the edge. And he has a tower. If Hera had more scouts, he could go underneath the tower. But I think here, Hera's going to see the range doesn't have a flag on it. And he's going to be like, not again. Like, don't tell me he's going to come back to my wood line again. Classic Pro clicks up. So both are going to be in castle age at the same time. Archers are going to sneak. This definitely, again, feels like a good situation for knights in castle age if you're Classic Pro. Just because the opponent has full skirms. Hera has 2 skirms around. There's some weak villagers, though. I mean, Classic Pro could easily get multiple snipes if Hera isn't paying attention. So I think Hera has an idea that Classic Pro will be there, but I really like that Classic Pro keeps sending the aggression. Here he is. Now, does he see the weak ones? Oh, man. There's 1 down. There's 2 more down. That's 3 villager picks from Classic Pro. He's played so good, guys. This has been so good. Hera has not really been able to control the map with military. And skirms and scouts, it's going to harass. It's going to annoy, but it's not going to really ever successfully break through here in feudal age. And now he falls back with these archers. Hera unable to track. Classic Pro's had less idle TC time than Hera. Classic Pro has 2 stables ready to make some knights. And these archers also have not really been tracked, so they could sneak again. That's been the approach from Classic Pro. Now, Hera will be on 2 stables as well. He's getting tons of upgrades for his scouts right now, so he'll probably go... He might want some light cap, but obviously he's probably going to make some knights as well. And I like all of that. I really like the Khmer here too, but Classic Pro's been able to find some nice picks. Hera just knocking on the door for now. Classic Pro will definitely need a house. You can't let these units through. Yeah, if those units get through, this is horrible. He's waiting for his 2 knights. Waits till the last second. Knights should be on the way. Spearman also comes out as well. Gets a hit on Hera's scout. Archers are over here. Hera has to be paranoid about his wood line. His gold isn't towered or anything. The farms could be a problem. And Classic Pro sneaks in and Hera responds. But this has got to be annoying for Hera. That these archers just keep showing up. Over here, there might be knights coming through. Wow, Classic Pro's just ignoring Hera's army. He's immediately bringing the knights this way. Man, I love how Classic Pro has played this, guys. I don't know if it's going to work, but this has been pretty epic. Sneaky all the time. Immediately sending units to Hera's base. He's like, sure, you're an amazing player, but I'm here to play. This is the war game. I'm here to pressure. Kills another villager. Looks like Hera killed 1 over here. Just the fact that the first 2 knights were brought here instead of reacting to Hera's army is not something that Hera is used to dealing with. Hera's lost 5 vills. His wood economy is just hanging out inside of houses right now. And his attack over here gets pushed away. The skirm investment feels kind of awkward from Hera's perspective now. Like, you've gone skirms against someone who never invested much into the archers beyond the initial 5 or 6. And I'll say it again, like someone said 3-0 easy for Hera, right? In the predictions. And they weren't expecting me to call them out in front of 3,000 people. But like I said, nothing's ever easy here. Nothing's ever easy. And things haven't been easy for Hera, right? He's gotten 4 wins. But Classic Pro's here to play. And Classic Pro is so well prepped. And Classic Pro gets a conversion there on the knight from Hera. He's also still chasing down the skirms here, so all those skirms will go down. And he has husbandry as well. So he might be able to snag that kill. I guess they both have husbandry. But the knight number is way better for Classic Pro at the moment. And his Hera's skirms are just disappearing right now. And Classic Pro's just going to go right back. He just keeps going. He just keeps sending it. Like, it doesn't matter Hera's reputation. It doesn't matter what he's shown us. Classic Pro is here to play, and Hera's just not prepared. He doesn't have the army here each and every time. He does have the 1 monk, but man, I love this from Classic Pro. He's like, okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Take the conversions. I'm going to be camping your resources here and making life difficult for you. And typically, if Hera has a little bit of time, he's going to out-macro you. He's going to outplay you. The Classic Pro has not given Hera the time here. This has been epic. All the bonuses to be scared of these houses. All the things that the Khmer want to do. Hera's tried, but Classic Pro just says, go ahead. Hop inside your houses, bro. This is sick. Classic Pro's got 10 knights. Now Hera should be able to hold on here. Obviously, he's lost 8 vills, but he's on 2 TCs. And now there's monks around the map. I also like how Hera is adding some scouts now, so he knows his opponent will have monks. Classic Pro's going to get relic number 1. He's going to drop TC number 2. He's also pretty heavy on stone here, so this feels like 2 TC, not a 3 TC play. With his eco setup, he could always opt for the 3rd TC, but this feels like big army and then a castle in the middle. But monks are actually the key right now, and that could be what brings Hera back, because he can snipe the opponent's monks, and then he could convert the opponent's knights. And I feel like certain players are going to get this tech right away, but other players just completely forget it exists. That devotion technology is really big in this situation. And wow, look at the house there from Classic Pro. Backs up into the choke. Hera's wood line is safe. And Hera's expecting a fight through the middle again. And look at what Classic Pro's going to do. Dude, this is so good. This is so good. Again, I don't know if it's going to work. Hera's stabilizing. But the counterattacks are just undoing Hera completely. He's just not expecting this every time. The knights are going to come in. He does have the monks around. So he could get 2 conversions here. But how many villagers have to die? And Hera was hoping for a big engagement there. Hera's wood line has been a real issue this game. Classic Pro's killed 13 vills. The monks for Classic Pro, though, need to be saved. And he will save them. But now Hera has monks, and it's an awkward situation for both. Hera's hoping to get through with the light cav. Can he do it? He will! And that's amazing for Hera, guys. He'll kill the monks. Only 1 monk survives inside the tower. Now it's his turn on the wood line. His own monks are also behind. Now, the monk probably can't get in there because of the tower. But Hera's got a really nice army advantage. And so this is kind of the moment where Classic Pro wanted that big fight in the middle, and he wanted that castle. And now he's lost so much of his army control. Hera's light cav monk knight group is so big. This is the problem. When you trade army for vills, it could be a big downside. And Classic Pro's got some work to do, but he will go for a castle. So if he could make organs with his knights, if he could keep his vills alive, could see things start to stabilize. It makes it a different type of game for Hera. That castle's definitely going to go up. A couple of villagers and the monk will go down for Classic Pro. What a game, dude. This is so sick. It's such a fun... It's a really interesting game. Classic Pro's approach has been... We go for vill kills, and we sacrifice army because of it. And Hera says, I'll keep all my military units alive, and I can give up the vills in order to control the map. And Classic Pro's also prioritizing the outside raids. There he goes again. And Hera has pretty much only been prioritizing the middle. It's been pretty fascinating here. Great call from Hera. Goes for redemption now. So, redemption, he could just convert the organs. And, I mean, the monks just feel like the key, don't they? Hera's light cav will split up. Classic Pro's doing a good job to track the 2 different groups there. Hera still kills a couple of vills. 3rd TC now comes up from Hera. Eco is flying for Hera. Now feels like the time for Hera to go to stone. So he could go for his own castle. And Classic Pro can't keep track. But honestly, without devotion there, he probably loses every single night. And another time, he needs to delete that one. Yeah, that's painful. Classic Pro can't keep up with Hera at the moment. He's got a lot of eco to stabilize. All right, so here's the thing. So I saw a game the other day where player with Bengalis... Sneaky Hera relic. Player with Bengalis went double monasteries against organs. But the opponent got to like 12 to 13 organs, and it still killed the monks so fast. Monks weren't necessarily a proper counter. So I actually think, just to play it safe, Hera needs a siege workshop. and the potential of mangonels as well. Just eventually, like, because this is going to be a big army play from Classic Pro. Hera needs to be very careful with his monks. Love the counterattacking from Classic Pro. Classic Pro 20 villager lead, but the army and the gold control is a problem. Classic Pro clicks up to imp. What? He's imping. I mean, Hera still, he wants to pressure through the middle, but there's just a castle there. He can't necessarily do much damage. Now, this has actually been overchopped by Classic Pro, maybe intentionally, so he can come to the middle at some point. What a game, guys. What a game. Hera's going to have a crazy eco. The fact that he's behind in Vills and the fact he's behind an imp, that's obviously reason to be worried for Hera fans. But, I mean, this is still a good position. Classic Pro now has some decisions to make on what units he's going to go for. Still running around out here. And he's going to check the middle now. But here comes Hera with some knights. I mean, that can turn around the Vill situation pretty quickly. But Hera just misses it. And, I mean, that's honestly okay for Classic Pro as long as he's able to react. As long as he's able to react, he will. Could have been so much worse for him. He was looking over here. Also killed some Vills. I'm just a little surprised to see Classic Pro dropping ranges right now. I was really expecting him to continue with organ guns for ranged units and maybe drop barracks to go for Halb. Halb would feels like the best unit when Hera's going full knights here, and Hera's knights are completely destroying the eco. Look at the villager count now. And Hera can definitely click imp soon. Classic Pro's here again, though. Hera gets conversions, though. And now Classic Pro's here. Man, props to Classic Pro. Salutes in chat, please, for making Hera work here. This has been a fun game. Unfortunately, we haven't seen that many really close Rocky Forest games. A lot of the games have been snowbally early. But this is going to be a close one. I would say that I really... It's hard for me to bet against Hera in this position when he's Khmer. But being later to imp gives Classic Pro a window. I wonder if the army comp of Arbalest is really the best play to open with. I would have loved a Halb opening of some kind. But we'll see. I mean, Hera's going to have some cav out, but he's going to be splitting groups around the sides. He goes this way, there's organ guns waiting. In the middle is going to be the crossbows. Still no Arbalest upgrade, by the way. That's not the biggest group ever. Chemistry's not in yet either. That'll be in a second. Hera's got the conversions coming in. Hera's going to raid the outside. Now, he thinks Classic Pro will have everything in the middle. Classic Pro's organs are there. But Hera's got enough knights and firepower there. Hera's monks are now getting sniped. So he will lose every single monk. He'll also lose his knights in the middle. And his knights on the outside could die to town center fire. And Classic Pro could come to the middle now. So, I love the idea from Hera to raid the outside. There's still a lot of idle time for Classic Pro. This TC doesn't actually have all the Vills garrisoned. But those ranged upgrades actually keep Classic Pro's eco much safer because the TC's so much stronger. And now Hera's got, like, no army. Still 15 villagers behind is Hera. These knights are just, they're doomed. They'll go down as well, probably. And the food count's not really that crazy. Look at Hera, 2 towers now in defense. And that is a forward castle from Classic Pro. So Classic Pro now will be able to control most of these golds. So Hera's got this gold, and Hera's got this gold, which is 6k. That's a lot of gold. Well, no, that's factored in 2,400. So that's like 3.5k gold. And 3 relics. Now, you don't actually need a ton of gold with Khmer. That's the beautiful thing. So you could just spam Hussars, or you could just go Skirms. But, like, you've got the front of your base to worry about. Classic Pro's about to be here with bombard cannons. And Hera doesn't have guard tower yet. Maybe Classic Pro. See, so many people go back here. So many people say, no, there's a tower. There's flags on the ranges. Classic Pro, the whole game has just been like, nah, not going to do it, bro. I'm just going to go attack. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to hesitate. I'm going to send it. This is so different than the way I've seen anyone play against Hera so far. This is crazy, dude. This is amazing. Like, you could look at it and say it's a throw if the situation actually arises where the opponent kills his army. But there's just been no respect to Hera's reputation so far, and he's just sending it, dude. And if you're going to go down against Hera, you might as well just go out sending it instead of just hesitating and questioning yourself. It's so good. And Hera can't keep up right now. Like, he's got so many different things to look at. There's now going to be more arbalests, trebuchets, and bomber cannons on the front. This army he has to track, which means he can't properly get his army to the front. And I mean, I got to restate, Classicpro, getting wins off of Hera today would be massive for this group. For his survival chances, for his playoff chances, and then for Hera's chances of getting first, which he's done every season of the Titans League. I'm not seeing enough gold income for Hera to be able to have a chance here, guys. He hasn't been able to track the Arbalest from Classicpro. And the Arbs are just looping down here towards the south. That's going to be a real pain for Hera. He's losing the front of his base. He does have fully upgraded skirms. So he's gotten there. But the dream of Cav with full armor just seems like... It seems like it's not going to be very easy. The Arbs will find more kills here. They will go down to Hera's Knights. And, oh my god, Hera converted the bombard cannon. That's really good. I think Classicpro's got the next switch coming, guys. The next thing that I think he needs to do is actually Cavalier here. Cavalier wins him this game. Hera is stuck where he's at right now. Bombard cannon for Classicpro will go down. I think he's distracted on the outside. Great job from Hera to focus there. Sorry, bombard cannon survives. But what I think you need is Cavalier here. You could go full elite organ gun, I guess, and just drop a bunch of castles. But I would really like to see Cavalier, because with Cavalier, the skirms and the eco just die so much faster, and you're able to raid in so many different groups. Like, you could deal with this with one unit, for example. Hera will drop a tower. Hera skirms. Sorry, he didn't have full upgrades. He doesn't have chemistry. So they're still going to take good engagements here. But he's lost his TC. His ranges are slowly going down. He is getting some big raids on the side. Classicpro, you can start to see the panic setting in a little bit. But the bombard cannon is hitting these skirms. Arquebus is in, so Hera can't really micro easily against the bombard cannon, and the bombard cannon's been clutch here. I think if Hera has a chance, he's got to raid the other side as well. He's got to get some movement to the north. He has to keep the activity on the outside, because that's what's going to open up the opportunities through the middle for him. He does have full armor for his cav. He's up to 31 farms, which is more than what he's had. But it's still not the craziest mass, and he still doesn't have gold income beyond those 3 relics, which he will protect. He'll snipe the Treb. He will also snipe the... Oh, he won't snipe the bombard cannon. Dude, you can tell Classicpro's in an absolute panic right now. He's done 95% of the work. He just has to be able to finish this. I think I'm actually starting to see nerves now. Like, he was super sharp. And then I think now he's like, oh my god, I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. And Hera could maybe start to feel that, but... Again, Hera's gold income is here. He's got 1,200 gold left. That's it. Only 30 on food. Villagers unprotected. It just... Once Cavalier are in the mix, Hera's completely toast. If that happens. If that happens. Hera will drop a castle here. It's kind of a weird castle to place, in my opinion. It almost feels like you want to save that stone for if you could take the middle back. But I guess, like, he can't make trebs. Yeah, that's a really odd castle to see. Clearly, Hera's just unsure of himself right now. That castle's just... That's a freebie right there for Classicpro. He could just sit here with the bombard cannons. Man, Hera's raid, though. Like, the 5 units remaining killed 5 vills. Or, sorry, not 5 vills. There's 5 units. 18 vills. That was crazy. And Hera's vill count is... Even though he's lost a lot... He's cooking right now. And he's up to 72 on food. Classicpro needs a Cavalier switch now, man. He's gotta finish off Hera. Hera's castle will stay alive? Don't tell me there's a chance. Don't tell me there's a chance. Classic Pro wants to go Halb. Classic Pro could really use a castle on the outside right now. Hera just finding this little overchop has just been such key. First time in the game, I'm actually... Well, first time in a while, sorry. I'm actually feeling like Hera's got a chance, but it's when he still has so little gold. But Classic Pro has been distracted by these raids massively. Doesn't have the army in the middle yet. I think he's going to go... This will get really interesting here, guys. He's going to have a couple bombard cannons with halbs, with the working guns, with arbs. If he can flatten this group of skirms, Hera might not have the time to make more, and Hera might lose his entire base. But this could happen as Classic Pro is losing lots of vills as well. Classic Pro is actually leaving those wood lines to come to the middle wood lines. I like that. Because you don't want to react to that anymore as you go for this push. I think he's going to bring vills and drop a castle here too. I think Classic Pro brings it all. Oh, or that. I actually really like that. If it goes up, that could lead to a lot of dead vills. He needs more army here first. That's a really good castle. But if not that, do you bring it all now? And just YOLO right to the middle, drop a castle on Hera's face, take this position back? I'm quite nervous for Classic Pro at the moment. There's maybe no better opportunity for him to get wins. He house walls Hera out so Hera can't break through there. He kills that army so this castle will go up. Hera's microing against Arquebus bombard cannons to snipe them. He'll snipe multiple. Beautiful job from Hera. But that is a lot of Arbalest. And there's Orking Guns and there's Halbs. And Hera still has no gold. How can Hera push the middle with no gold? Can he win this game with no gold? It would be a crazy victory for him if he could do it. I don't know if he can. Classic Pro's waiting for the bombard cannons. You can dance all you want with these skirms. At the end of the day, one or two big shots, half your group goes down. And you can't dance and also do everything else that's required in the game. Maybe he can. I don't know. He's sure showing us he can. Classic Pro doesn't have the eco for the Cavalier switch I was hoping for, by the way. That's just not going to happen yet. Could eventually do it. Imagine a castle going up in this position at the same time. Oh, man. Classic Pro's up against Hussars now. But the Halbs are here. Hera's skirms are getting hit by the bombard cannons. His skirm count is down to 13, guys. Hera doesn't have the army. Hera does not have the army to compete with this. Also, the organ guns aren't elite yet. If they became elite organs, that would be even stronger. No better time for Classic Pro. Win the game. Open up the series with a bang. Drop a forward castle here. Hera knows it's coming, too. Look at his trebs. Hera knows. He could see the vills. He understands maybe there's a chance to take that out. Look, he's even unpacking the trebs ahead of time. Classic Pro can't see the trebs. Classic Pro's castle could go down. The one treb didn't fire on time, actually. The other treb is not cooperating. So the castle might actually still be fine. And now Classic Pro knows about the trebs. Oh, that was so rough for Hera. If those bombard cannons can move there right now, the castle can stay up. The castle could complete. No, Classic Pro deletes it. Raid in the back for Classic Pro. Classic Pro doesn't have enough for a castle. Now, he actually pulled his gold miners for that, so he doesn't have any gold income. But Hera will not have trebuchets. He doesn't have gold for these losses, guys. He will lose his trebs. He will lose his relics as well. The relics can be taken out so easily. He does have a better unit queue than Classic Pro. Classic Pro is he's so panicked, dude. Like, guys, he misclicked some skirms. This is so intense. But that castle's going up. Hera did get some more raids. Look at Classic Pro abandoning his main eco to just go into the middle now. It could get kind of wild, right? Like, he might actually overchop openings for Hera to come through. Oh, this is so scrappy for Classic Pro. Hera's making him work so hard. I would feel very bad for Classic Pro if he loses this. How many times do you see this position? Also, how many times do you see players not take out someone's monasteries in Imp sometimes? Does that annoy anybody else? Okay, well, it feels like right when it reaches the level of annoyance where I say it, it always happens. Because I said that in the Leary Doubt series, and then they did it immediately. Hera's like, all right, well, you gotta kill me. Like, I should be dead, but you've got to actually finish me off, man. And Cavalier is what does it, guys. Cavalier is what does it. I promise you that. 20 Cavalier. Hera's Hussar Skirm combination won't work anymore. Classicpro could raid with that. He's certainly got the gold for it. Oh my god, Hera's hoping to overchop that tree so he can get through. Classicpro is terrified right now of making a misstep and losing his army. There's a stable. Okay, so once he gets more wood for stables, Cavalier could come in. He doesn't know about Hera's castle down here, but he will see Hera's trap. And he will see Hera's Hussars. Classicpro might panic buy some castles here again. Honestly, he doesn't need the Halbs on the front right this second. So maybe he could just have more Halbs back home. That's a big Hussar army there from Hera. And he just lost his trap. 0 on gold for Hera, 0 relics. A goldless game. 83 on food with the Khmer. Oh, he's got more traps over here. Okay. Hera really spreading out with the Hussars. Dude, this would be a crazy victory, man, if Hera could win this. You can tell that Classicpro's terrified. And that there's some actual chances here for Hera. He's finding some real opportunities. Raids over here. There's villagers everywhere. Classicpro still pushing, though. Classicpro still holding. Hera's traps backed away. Okay, Cavalier's on the way for Classicpro. This has been what I've been waiting for. Does he have the eco to make enough of them? Like 20 Cavalier, I think, is what ends the game. Cavalier's stronger than a Hussar. And it's the one unit that just completely melts skirmishers. Or non-elite organ guns don't necessarily do that. Another castle from Classicpro. And I think this is it, guys. Hera's raids did do damage. But there are castles in positions and Halbs in positions to defend from it. Cavalier on the front just completely changes these fights. Assuming there's still the proper backup behind. Which there's not. This castle for Classicpro completes. This will be 2 castles now in this position against all of Hera's units. And Hera does have trebs. But if Classicpro's bombard cannons notice that, and I think he just did, Hera's trebs should be vulnerable. The food eco's not actually there for Classicpro, for Cavalier. He really doesn't have a lot of food. Hera... Wow, my god, dude! Oh my god, dude! He snipes one of the cannons! Classicpro's desperately repairing. That's so many skirms, dude. And so much in queue for Hera. Hera might need to hope his trebs can hit that bombard cannon here. I don't think he's going to snipe with Hussars. He's repairing. That's an attack round between both trebs, by the way. Could do damage to both at the same time, which is sick. And 2 will go down. Hera had no gold to repair. Where's Classicpro's Cavalier? Where are his Halbs? Where's his army? He's got army everywhere. Hera's just camping that to prevent that. Hera's like, let me in, bro. He's chopping the trees. Bro, Hera will not die. This is crazy. He will not die. And he's got a treb down here, too. What a fight from Hera. What a fight. He's got more units in queue. He's got 40 skirms and just Hussars galore. That's the plan. Also, there was an overchop there, so that maybe needs to be stonewalled. Oh my god, and now Hera's coming here. Hera chopped through. Hera's coming here to drop a castle. The Cavalier have found it. That castle should go up if Hera builds with all his vills. That will go up. So that's a little bit of gold income for Hera. What in the world? They both have lost a lot of pop here. Halbs have made it to the north. Cavalier will make it to the north to raid. Hera took out one of the 2 castles, though. He might end up taking out this next one as well. But now Cavalier could maybe find damage in Hera's eco. Hera doesn't have Halb, remember. And Hera's Hussars are not attacking here as he would have liked. Classicpro needs to focus all of his attention on this. But he also really doesn't want to let this castle go down. What a crazy game. Who's winning this game? Like, I thought Classic Pro was winning the entire game. He's now up by 40 villagers, but I'm hesitant to think that he's going to win this now because Hera's Hussar spam has been so insane. Just still, Classic Pro doesn't really have safe food eco. I feel like Hera needs to keep raiding, but that's hard to do when he's in such awkward positions himself. Classic Pro will need to chop trees somewhere else now. And Hera comes forward to snipe the bombard cannon. That Treb is still firing on the castle. The castle may eventually go down for Classic Pro. And Hera's got 16 more vills in queue. He's got a little bit of gold. I mean, there's so many castles from Classic Pro. Even if Hera takes this castle down, like, that's still gonna be tough to make progress here. And there is a bombard cannon here from Classic Pro. Honestly, it's a small thing that you probably are never gonna see a player do. But what about just stonewalling around that guy? I feel like with the amount of Hussars, it just 6 stone walls or 8 or however many that takes around that bombard cannon would be pretty massive here. But it's just unrealistic when you're focused to this level. Guys, if Classic Pro hasn't won the game already, he may not win it now. I mean, he's collected so much more gold than Hera, but he just cannot seem to get he can't keep his gold units alive. And he's not applying pressure. Well, he's trying, but he hasn't gotten into the back corners of Hera's eco. Tower there from Hera. Hera doesn't have any Hussar Q right now. It's just Vills to get his eco back up. What a game. Cavalier will dive for Classic Pro. Snipe the monk from Hera, which is getting the relics. But Hera might get those relics back. One of the best games of the tournament here. And I just imagine if I was in Classic Pro's position, I'd think, oh my god, I threw this. And you can feel the momentum slipping. Like, Hera's got opportunities now. This area up here, super raidable. And yeah, I wonder if Hera can actually start to push castle positions. Also, is Classic Pro out of gold? He's out of gold. The only golds left are right here. And then the gold Hera's mining. Classic Pro is now out of gold. What? So he's going to be going Lycav and Halb. He can't afford Cavalier anymore. So that's advantage Khmer. Advantage Khmer if the Portuguese player doesn't have gold anymore. There is also this one relic. Obviously, that would have given a lot of gold over time. Getting that now could be helpful if you're Classic Pro, but I think he's super fixated on taking out this castle right now. Hera cuts through again. The Hussars will look for raids. Hera needs to go here. I'm baffled, actually, that Hera hasn't looked here. He can see some farms. Maybe he's on the way. Hera has 2 trebs. And he clicked one onto the bombard cannon. And of course he gets it. Of course he gets it. Classic Pro doesn't have the gold income he had before. Hera up to 70 on food. Hasn't had the middle pretty much the whole game. Now, this is an important castle for Classic Pro. This is where he's most exposed. That's actually a huge position for him to lock down. I love that for him. And I hate trebs against cannons. I just know that this could be bad for Classic Pro. He's trying. He gets to snipe on one of the trebs. Okay. He gets one of the trebs. The other treb he could get as well. He's microing his heart out. He needs to keep this castle up. Can Classic Pro do it? Can Classic Pro do it? Hera doesn't have any stone to repair his own castles after this. His castle's right there. Hera's gonna lose this fight. Classic Pro is holding on. Hera's Treb can't kill the cannon. Classic Pro's microing it. Classic Pro is back. He is back. And now, if Hera loses these Trebs, this is such an expensive loss. This is one of the best games I've ever freaking seen, man. The Hussars are still here. The bombard cannon, I have no clue where it went. And maybe it died. It might be on screen. Oh, it's right there. Okay. But Hera should lose his Trebs. Hera should lose his Trebs. Guys, my heart is beating at like 150 beats per minute right now. And I'm not even playing. This is crazy. This is going to be the hardest earned $40 either of them have had in their career, or whoever wins this. Treb will go down. Hera still has more pop. Hera still has better, like, overall Vil count. But Classic Pro's up to 70 on food. 70. And I think Hera dies. Halb Lycav with these castle positions should be super good. Like, Hera's got a lot... Well, no, let me take it back. Hera's not going to die for a long time. But this is an area that's exposed. Okay? This is an area... Well, it's not really that exposed, I guess, because his army's massed there. Ugh. I see people in chat mentioning Faitoria. It's just not the play. It's not the play. You need that 20 pop space. And gold doesn't actually... As you could see, because he's collected so much more gold already, gold doesn't actually change the game that massively. It's... the gold is for siege and pretty much nothing else. So, to lose out on 20 pop space would really hurt here. Look at Hera try and sneak stables up here near the farms. Normally in late game, I think about castle positions. And Hera's castles are really good to protect farms. They're actually not great to protect wood, oddly enough, because of the map. I mean, I also like Classic Pro's setup to protect his eco. They're honestly both in great spots. Yeah, guys, just imagine how expensive it would be to buy the amount of stone required for a Faitoria. He's never going to get the gold for that. Promise you, we don't need to really dive deep on it. I promise you the Faitoria is not the play here. Competitively, you would miss out on 20 pop space. You would get out popped. You'd have big problems. Man, this is crazy from Hera. This is so good. The fact that he's been able to find that has been so good. I just wonder... I mean, is anyone going to get this gold? Classic Pro's going to come back to it. And I wonder if Classic Pro can compete if he doesn't have Hussar. Like, Hussar is just the better stable rating unit. And also Skirm is... I mean, Halb is valuable and Skirm is valuable. So it just depends on the engagements. And Hera needs to get his Skirm count up again. But Hera's got the better eco right now. And Hera's got... He's got 3 relics. Classic Pro's going to get more gold and more stone, though. So that can give him more mass for some siege. Does Classic Pro know about all this eco? He does. So, yeah, units could be raiding there. And he also is building stables down here to raid Hera. So, just crazy. Hera's found access to a couple hundred more stone. That's helpful for repairs on castles, which one may eventually be needed. But that's also really helpful for TCs, to add more Vils. Which sometimes in these games, that's just... You're killing Vils, you're creating Vils. Non-stop. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Hera drop a lot more TCs. I also think... I think crop rotation makes a lot of sense here for both. It's not something they're thinking of, but in a game like this, crop rotation is absolutely massive. But guys, I think Hera, it's going to take some time. But if he didn't die already, I think he's going to win this game. I mean, he has this Treb here right now. He's got another Treb on the way. Now, we'll see if that stays alive. I'm a little surprised he's gone with 1. I think you need to wait for 4. He'll drop some gates there. Repairs are happening for Classic Pro. Raids are happening here slowly for Classic Pro as well. God, this is so close. 87 on food with Khmer, though. I mean, that food income's going to fly. Hera will always be able to produce Hussars. And Hera has... The logic is you have enough skirms to just focus down the Halbs, and then your Hussars win you the game. Classic Pro's struggling. He really is. Hera will eventually eject some Hussars to find some critical Vil kills. Hera's weird gate shenanigans is kind of blocking off his Trebs. Classic Pro, this is not the area he needs to raid. It would be this area in the north. And he's lost his castle in the middle. Look how exposed this is. Hera's gonna buy a castle! And if Hera has that castle, if Hera has this castle, this castle, this castle, at 90 on food, there's no way he loses this game. No way. I mean, I think the Cavalier we've just seen queued for Classic Pro is like his panic. Holy crap, I need everything I can get. Move. And let's see. I mean, there's 11 Cavalier in there. There's Halbs in there too. But what a position. Hera going for elite ballista elephants? Elite ballista? Is that intentional? I don't know if that's intentional or not. He does have multiple castles. He does have some gold. So, you know, in theory, maybe he could make a couple of them. But maybe that's just a signal to everybody that Hera knows he's won this game. That could be what that is. 19 Cavalier for Classic Pro. But now Hera has a castle to fall back to. And Hera is banking some crazy resources right now. He might lose his Trebs. He will lose his Trebs. He will lose a lot of his army. And now Classic Pro is back? Classic Pro is back? But someone's going to be like, he was never gone. Remember, Classic Pro still has gold and stone. So there is still that. And I know I kind of disagree with the move, but he still does have the potential for Fatorias as well. So that's an option. Hera's going to want those resources back from Elite Ballista Elephant, I'll tell you that much. Did he actually complete the upgrade? Murder holes for Hera, because he's worried about his castles not being enough. He has all the castle HP upgrades, though, so he's got 7,000 HP. Castles are just so critical here. Classic Pro doesn't have a single HP upgrade, by the way. Hera's Hussars found a lot of Vill kills back here. That's a lot of vacant farms. Hera's Treb, though, is... Well, no, actually, the Treb's not being sniped. The castle's getting attacked. Hera sees it. And Classic Pro sees it as well. That's insane, dude. That's insane. Oh, God, a castle from Classic Pro. Look at all the Vills, man. Look at all the Vills. If you lose enough Vills, it might be worth adding a Fatoria, honestly. If you go down to 80 pop, maybe you just have to. Holy crap, this is chaos. Classic Pro, for the first time in a long time, sending stuff into Hera's eco to get some Vill kills himself. There is this bombard cannon, but Hera knows it's there. What a find. That's so easy to lose track of. Okay, here comes some of the ballistas, which tells me it wasn't a troll. And Classic Pro and Hera is absolute gloves off here. 200 Vills killed from both, and Hera's Trebs are going to go down. Yikes, that's so costly to lose even just one Treb. Classic Pro also got the other relic as well. So, no stone for either of them. And it's like 3 or 4 castles for both of them. Hera's hoping the ballistas are going to make a big difference here. I think you got to save your gold for siege. Look at Classic Pro's raids down here. Imagine if this was a best of 7 and this was game number 1. These guys are thankful for the play all 3 format right now. Hera might lose his castle, guys. Hera panic farming in the middle. That this gold has been... If Hera loses, it's the fact that he didn't raid the gold over the last 5 to 10 minutes. Or maybe in his mind, he'll just think back to the early game or something. It says he has 60 Hussars. Where are they? What are they doing? They're back here. Oh, man. Hera's taking some heavy losses. Heavy Vill losses. There are no Halbs grouped up next to the Trebs, though. Hera could maybe swoop in and get them. It feels like it might be a little too late for that. Where's Hera taking wood right now? Wow, so Hera could take wood between these castles. He could also take the wood here. And the castle falls. Wow. Wow. Right when you think one player's dead, the other person comes back. This has been crazy, dude. This game is insane. There's Hera's Hussars. You know where they're going. They want those Trebs. Those Trebs are coming down here for this castle. Classic Pro's going to need a lot more Halbs. He did lose that group underneath the castle. That was costly. Hera's pop is back up. Hera will find the Trebs. Classic Pro should be able to make more of them. Okay, it took... I don't know what happened exactly. Obviously, this has been very chaotic, but I think Hera has gotten back to the ratio that was working well for him. The 30 skirms, 50 hussar ratio is perfect. Actually, him losing 30 Vills kind of helped him in a way, because now he's got 100 army. And these are situations where a player can be broken. Right when you raid someone's eco is the hardest time to defend from them, because they free up so much pop space. But if you hold from that, you should have the better economy to make more army long term. And that's the hope right now for Classicpro. Just absolute meat grinder here in the middle. Holy. And the Hera's stables here, man. I mean, they're finding some Vil picks as well. Classicpro, it was one Vil that built that earlier. One Vil. We have a town center war, folks. We have a town center war in the Imperial Age. The situation with wood has gotten so dire that it is a TC war. Hera's TC is going to be denied. He's down to 85 Vils, but he has 95 army! And just like before, we have a panic time from Classicpro. He queues up everything he can. He's like, I need organs. I need halves. I need everything I can get. Guys, I think Hera's going to win. I think Hera's won this game. This is too big of an army. If Hera can make trebs, which he is, and he can take down these castles, Classicpro cannot recover. Classicpro's losing everything. He is losing everything. What a crazy game. That was insane. The Hussars back here found, like, kills constantly. That's not even the same group. He's always been adding more. I mean, you can use the ballistas to take the trees now if you want to send a message there, too. A TC goes down for Classicpro. There's so many exposed Vils. Hera has done it. Wow. Hera takes the score lead. Hera's still got the 70 on food. And what a victory. That is one of the craziest comebacks I have seen in recent times. And what a performance there from Hera. Hera gets the win. He gets the $40. He gets the important win in terms of the placements here in Titans League. And that is why you've got to kill Hera fast when he's playing with the Khmer. That was crazy. Now, imagine being Classicpro right now. How are you supposed to... You get that close to victory. You work that hard, and it doesn't even work out. I mean, it would be so tough for me to move into the next games and bring the same level. Now, you still should. And in another series, like if it's a best of 5, that breaks you. But in a play all 3 where you need every win, and every win counts for something, maybe it doesn't. But holy crap, man. By the way, hats off to Classicpro. Like, I'm going to spend a minute or two talking about how amazing Hera was there. But before I dive back into that, that was a crazy game from Classicpro, guys. He was sending armies towards Hera's base constantly. In situations, I just don't see it against Hera. Hera commands such respect these days that people in situations where they should do damage to him, they don't even try because they don't have faith in themselves and they don't make moves with their armies. And Classicpro just kept making Hera work. I really think, honestly, the thing that lost Classicpro the game, we got to go quite a ways back probably. The thing that lost him the game was committing to organs instead of dropping stables and going Cavalier. If he could go Cavalier when he still had arbs, it's game over. I mean it. Now, that's not easy because Hera was raiding him, because you have to add the farms. You need more food eco. But yeah, I really think, like, in this situation, instead of non-elite organs, 5 stables, Cavalier switch. This is before the rest of the game played out. I think Hera, before he can really get started, gets finished off. But what a hold from him. What a great job. And it took him a long time. Like, Hera was waiting to take some type of initiative. He didn't have initiative the entire game. But then right when he was able to find one raid that did a little bit of damage, then he uses that to set up the next, and hey, brings it back. Look at the food eco. That's crazy. 93,000 food income from those Khmer farms. Look at the difference in the gold, man. Again, it's like, how did you spend your gold? Well, he made a ton of siege. But he was losing the siege, and then he didn't have a gold unit to push that back. And the unit there is Cavalier. Unfortunately, by the time he went Cavalier, I think Hera at that point had already started to find too much reward with raids and already had banked up so much res that an inferior unit in the Hussar can compete in some way. So Hera wins. Great game. We got more games, though, folks. And let's drop in. So, live standings, we've got Hera with 5 wins. He is hoping to get to 7 wins in total, which would tie Sato for top of the group. If Hera does not get the sweep, he is not first in the group right now. Classic Pro live standings, he's at 3 wins, which puts him just 1 win ahead of Nikov and 2 wins ahead of Veleza. So it puts him near the bottom. Obviously, if he gets 2 wins here and goes up to 5, he's then actually 1 behind where Hera would be, and he's he's closer to Barles. And, oh boy, it just played like a 2-hour game, and Classic Pro saves his villager there. Yeah, they didn't really take too much time in between the games. They're right back into it. It feels rather slow all of a sudden to be back in the Dark Age. And we got Japanese for Classic Pro, and we have Armenians for Hera. Both great civs on this map, but this is a tough map to play. The player that played the best in the first tournament that had evacuation, which was Hidden Cup 5, was Hera. I thought he played really clean there. And the way I recall him playing this, he would go galleys on the outside and then archers in the middle, and he would wall to the shoreline here. So Hera brings in the Rhino. I would be shocked if Hera doesn't try the same thing, because it's worked so well for him in the past. But your micro has to be like really on point with that. We've seen other players try that, and they struggle because it is the hardest way to play the map, in my opinion. Hera found a couple extra cows out here with that scout. It did look like he wanted to deny the dock from Classic Pro, but wasn't able to do that. So he did travel forward for that purpose. And Classic Pro scouting around looking for some cows. Hopefully for him, he'll find a couple. And he's also bringing in his rhinos, and we'll see how he opens here. James says, really hope Classic Pro isn't heartbroken after that one and can focus. Yeah, I agree. We'll see. I mean, just depends on the day, depends on the player. But these guys have extra levels of stamina that, like, I can't have, for example. So both, like, mental, but it just takes a physical toll, dude. Like, oftentimes I am saying it's because I'm old, you know? But I really don't even know if it's that. I just think... I guess it's like any sport, maybe, where, you know, you got more speed, more agility, more endurance. I don't know. Hard to make comparisons there. So they'll click up at the same time. And yeah, we'll be seeing feudal age opening of some kind. I imagine we'll see exactly what I said from Hera. I'd be shocked if he changes his play. I think he'll be going for wood. He'll be going for gold, and then combine archers with galleys. Just makes sense for the Armenians. NDM says, bro, you're not old. Well, listen, I've been playing this game for 10 years, okay? So I'm soon 32. And age aside, there's definitely such a thing as mileage. I have what I would consider to be 60-year-old wrists. I feel stiff and sore and all these things after certain periods of time. And I don't remember that being the case 5 years ago. So there's definitely, I call it mileage. But, I mean, I don't know if that has to do with age or if that just has to do with other things, you know? But I don't think that applies to everybody, because you've got other people who've playing for a long time and are still super speedy, so... But I've spoken to other players, you know, like Doubt, for example. For whatever reason, for better or for worse, I tend to relate to Doubt a lot. And Doubt's like, yeah, that's definitely a thing, bro. That's definitely a thing. Yeah, I'm dying. Yeah, thank you, WebMD. Thank you for pointing out that I'm gonna die. Stehelm donated $15 during that crazy game, which obviously I missed. He says, just saying thanks, T90, after joining TTL nearly every day. P.S. 10 gifted subs if you add mustache removal as a sub goal somewhere. 10... I get 10 subs to shave my mustache? If I could get other people involved, maybe. But my plan is to kind of save the mustache idea for a future project if we get there. Thank you for the dono, though, my friend. We'll see. Thank you, FaZe. Thank you, Spitfires. Imperial Warrior. Thank you, guys. Ooh, weak villager there from Classic Pro. And that's just... Isn't that just classic? Huh, 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 huh. That's just classic. And that just makes the previous game feel so much more painful. Hera starts it all off. Snipes a villager. Nice little start there from Hera. And just very aware. Very aware to check the HP there. Hera has his own weak villagers around after bringing in the rhinos. So Hera's actually going to add scouts. He'll see that Classic Pro's adding scouts, and Classic Pro didn't see that he's adding scouts. So Classic Pro brought his scout home. And then it is galleys out of 1 dock from Hera, and then it is fires out of 1 dock from Classic Pro. And this map is, oh man, now Hera's Spearman gets a kill. This map is so difficult to play, man. There's so many different aspects you've got to look at. Hera already milling the outside in combination with the wood. We've got the galleys, we've got the scouts, we've got the spears. And Hera should be checking to see if Classic Pro's out here. He'll find he is. And that's a confident move from Hera. I could just tell he was going to do that. He's like, you know what? I don't think he can keep up with me now. I think he's dead tired after the previous game. So I'm just going to attack that Vil building the tower. And that's a dead Vil. Poor Classic Pro. Poor Classic Pro. Like, this is game... If this is game 1, obviously, he probably notices that. But I think that's definitely game number 2 adding up a little bit for him. Hera's galleys aren't in position, though. So do we make an argument it's the same for him? Who knows? Hera's back for more. Hera finds another villager pick. But there is a spear on the way, and Classic Pro should be able... Oh, boy. Oh, there's galleys here. Hera's like, yeah, chase me, chase me, chase me, chase me, chase me. Oh, boy. That's really good from Hera. And tower's not completed yet. The galleys could range some of the Vils as well. Oh, this is so painful for Classic Pro. He does get the tower up. He will lose another spearman. He did kill all of Hera's fish, though. So, look at Hera's wood count right now. You rarely catch Hera with 700 wood in the bank. But that was very micro-intensive there, and so he'll naturally just transition that all in the farms. Classic Pro will want to do the same. Classic Pro's got the range. But guys, I'm not seeing a whole lot of control right now for Classic Pro. It feels like there's too many things happening for him. And Hera... His openings, I mean, maybe I could talk about it after the series, but like, he was a little greedy at times in the previous game, a little bit slower to the start, and he was just kind of assuming with his reputation he'd get away with a little bit. Now he's on point, and so is Classic Pro, who's like, shut up, T90, I can quick wall, and then Hera just snipes it anyways. Then snipes the farm, just ruthless, and now sees another villager, just absolutely ruthless. Just absolutely ruthless. Oh my god. That's crazy, dude. That is just crazy. And so Classic Pro is looking for some type of control in this game. Hasn't really been able to find it yet. And yet, he's got his fishing ships protected. Eco count's still somewhat similar. But he is chasing Hera a lot right now, and so Hera will know that. Hera's going for another stable. Yeah, Hera, I think, has hit... You can just tell with the way he's moving his units right now, and we didn't see this in the first game. He's hit the I can do no wrong, I'm a god mode. Right? Double stable. Like, this is Hera being like, yep, this game's mine. Like, I've got this now. There's no way you can keep up with me. Classic Pro, this is a normal follow-up, but Hera walled it out. And Classic Pro is not expecting double stable scouts. He's expecting Hera to try and go Castle Age. So if you're expecting Hera to go Castle Age, you're going to like try and get some damage in with low numbers. Hera's scouts find Classic Pro here. Will snipe some of those archers that still don't have fletching. And Hera even snipes Classic Pro's scout. And Classic Pro does get a hit there. Hera... Still crazy wood count, honestly. Still crazy wood. He's trying to snipe the fish. Tough to do against the Japanese. We'll see if he can do it. Classic Pro saves one of them. And Classic Pro will save the other. And now Classic Pro saw that his opponent... Well, he didn't... It's hard to know, actually, if that's 2 stables or if that's just the 1 stable producing. That could so easily have just been the 1 stable producing properly. It's very hard to pick up on that. So I think, again, he's not expecting more scout production. He will bring spearmen this time, but this is enough scouts to clear this. And Classic Pro's like, I need to be forward right now. This is not going well for me. And the spears are out of position, and he will lose most of his archers here. But these are Japanese spears. And Hera's going to kill them. He will lose a lot of scouts here, honestly. That's actually... If the rest of the game wasn't flowing the way it is, that's actually a really good engagement for Classic Pro. But it definitely doesn't feel like it's going to give him an easy time now to not have any army active on the map, you know? And this isn't yet walled. Hera will bring scouts. Hera going for the Great Wall of freaking China over here. That's a smart play, though. And Classic Pro's resources are looking better to click Castle H. Still has the fish control. Still all the motivation whatsoever to just get a win here. You've got to get a win. And Hera gets the final villager snipe. Just another snipe in the dying moments with those scouts. But still producing a lot of scouts. Still producing a lot of scouts. And he has lost a lot of scouts. And Classic Pro's got spears. But Hera's got armor. And Classic Pro needs to keep the units out. Then he can't. Pain. Pain for Classic Pro. Quick walls, though. All right. Wow, that's sick, dude. I'm so mentally dead in this moment if I'm Classic Pro. I'd never get that. I mean, I never get that if I'm mentally awake. And saves the vills. Wow, that's sick. And then he also completes the walls. Hera is bringing skirms, though, for the spears. So it can't just be spear defense anymore. And another house down just in the nick of time. So I think you have to bring a couple more vills for this. But then the houses stay down. And you've got to click up the castle. Just need 4 gold. Okay. I think it's just dangerous enough where you have to make your own scouts now. That way you can at least play into, like, scouts against the skirms. And if you can hold, if you can stabilize, there's still the food out here. There's still farms. You're in Castle Age faster than Hera. The Japanese feel like the better civilization long-term here, but I think there's a hole there, right? Oh, yeah, there's a hole. There's always a gap there. He didn't notice it. Hera's through. Sneak army from Classic Pro will head to Hera's base. Kind of reminds me of game number 1. It's the first time he's been able to do anything like that this game. And Hera has armor and a lot of scouts, so he gets 1 vill kill. That'll be another with the blocks. And Hera also clicks up, and Hera just in overdrive mode now. Another villager gets sniped. It must be so painful to be Classic Pro at the moment. And so you just... You got to fight the thoughts, but it's just so easy to just think about game number 1. Your mind's in game number 1 right now. You're like, man, if only I made this. If only I did that. If only I... Like, losing this game's completely fine. As long as you came out with the victory there. Hera doesn't have Navy to protect this, so the archers could come out here. If Classic Pro keeps moving around, it could get dangerous. But look at Classic Pro's eco. He's got 11 idols inside the TC. Really has to fully evacuate. Yeah, Hera can't let those archers go to the outside because he doesn't have a tower there. And so he'll drop a gate and a house. And he's just going to wait for some of that army. It feels like he was bringing some army home. The skirms are there. Classic Pro could kill those skirms. Hera has to go back to save them. And the army from Classic Pro is through. Hold the phone, guys. This is about to be crossbow with Bodkin. Hera, you need a tower. Hera, you need a tower now. Hera will defend his skirms, which is a really big deal. That's a really big deal long term. But if Classic Pro keeps moving this way... Hera's unprotected, but Hera will drop the tower. Hera will be up. But awkward times over the last few moments. And Classic Pro holding on, guys. He's starting to go cav archers now, which I like a lot. And he's utilizing the fire galleys here. The fires are a big help here. Hera's skirms. Overextend. Classic Pro. Bringing it back. Hera's eco setup is not the best at the moment. Considering what we thought was going to happen when he's collected 2,500 more resources. Man, this is so good. I love this from Classic Pro. Without the fire galleys, this army's already dead. But I love the fact that he's using these. He's microing them very well. But he's going to ultimately lose everything. Hera is just going to hope that he clears it up. And he will clear it up. And nice work from Classic Pro, though. So Hera's got a really good economic situation compared to Classic Pro with the mule carts and the extra efficiency. So that combined with the 24 farms is enough food for any upgrade he could want. Elite Skirm will probably come in. He just doesn't have the wood yet. And then he still has the 2 stables to go knights. It feels like Hera is worried about his opponent fishing a lot. So that's a dock, which could eventually lead to killing fish. But that's not actually what Classic Pro is really doing. Classic Pro is going Cav Archers. And Hera will see that now. But that's why it was so important for Hera to keep the skirms alive. And oh, yikes. And Classic Pro loses a CA. And almost loses another. And he does lose the other. Yeah, if you make a demo for this area, it never makes it because it's too far away, and Hera would just micro away from it anyways. But I was thinking about a demo there as well, would always be good, but it's just not super realistic. Feel like this is where Hera starts to run circles around them a little bit. Like, with how open this map is, Cav Archers can be strong, but without ballistics, the Light Cav can just do this. And Classic Pro actually finds the dock is there, which is pretty interesting. But even though they're weak Light Cav, it's just so much work right now for Classic Pro. And now Hera comes forward with the skirms. So he's just simply attacking with the skirms. You can't stop the skirms with Cav Archers. And so here's the counterattack from Classic Pro, but Hera has enough skirms around the base to defend. Hera will drop TC number 2. Hera has the fires. I guess the CA are probably going to make their way across the crossing. But Classic Pro, basically no gold income right now because his gold income was here. And he was going to run out of that eventually as well. He'll add a Scorpion. He's hoping that will be enough. He probably wants a Mangonel, but it's just too expensive for him. He's micring towards the fires again. The fires have been really strong. They have 8 kills. Fire ship goes down there. Scorpion's out. Hera will snipe it, though, with the Light Cav. And there is no demo around. And I'm worried about these vills right now. A tower is not enough to defend from this many skirmishers. And Hera's got... It's not pretty, but he's got enough to handle this. House walls from Classic Pro. I mean, man, what a fight, dude. Could have so easily resigned already. Like, this situation seems so bad. And, I mean, he's done his best, but the Light Cav make it through. Hera's skirms are just so strong here. And I think Hera's eco lead after this should be pretty considerable. He's got 56 eco. He's not losing any of it. And now Classic Pro just on 1 town center. And Classic Pro is... Well, he's got 18 on stone right now. Like, that should tell you Classic Pro's eco situation. He's more on stone than anything else. Our fire galley finally goes down. Hera also does have fire galleys out to attack the fish. So it looks like he had a leftover galley he forgot about. So that'll go back there as well. And I'd be shocked if Hera loses in this position. But he's got the TC going up. And Classic Pro sees that. The skirms aren't there. The skirms are still here. But the skirms are killing a lot of vills. These skirms have killed 3 vills and probably will kill more. Oh, wow. Hera, what in the world is that? Houses? TC? And yeah, the +2 knights push the CA away. Crazy game. Crazy, crazy, crazy game. Hera wants that first place, guys. He has to get 3-0 to be in first place in the group. With any other result, he is not first place. Classic Pro, he just wants 1 win. Different standards here. Because Classic Pro will know it's going to be tough for other people to get 1 win against Hera. But 2 other people did. So that actually puts Classic Pro under even more pressure to get a victory here. Because Nikov did so, and Sato did so. Hera snipes the Scorp, moves on through. Hera camping the stone here. I think Hera will have seen all those vills on stone and kind of knows what that means. I think usually that means that that's going to be like a forward castle all in from Classic Pro. That's not going to happen now, though. Because he actually sold his stone so he could just have resources for other things. Which isn't a bad play because he probably realized he was never getting the forward castle anymore anyways. The Classic Pro is going to play it out a little bit. He's going to fight. But we will have a third game, and this will be 2-0 for Hera, guys. Crazy, crazy, crazy level. I didn't see the best version of Hera in Titans League until, like, early Imp, game 1, and now here. This is him. I didn't feel like I saw it in the first 2 sets. I'm not saying he played poor. I'm just saying, like, there's that slightly higher level that he can show. And everyone in the group should be really pissed at Classicpro for bringing that version of Hera back. Waking that up. Like, great. Now everyone's pissed because you've woken up that version of Hera. Salahol says, why burn your best stuff in group stage? Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a strategy that you're hiding. I'm talking about just level, right? And that's not how it works. It's not like you have like a finite level, and if you use it in the first or second round, that you can't get back to it. That's not how level of skill works. Strategies, that can be the case. Maybe you want to hide certain strategies, but Hera, not usually one that needs to hide too much anyways. Super, super solid player. And he's played amazing there. You could just see the confidence with the openings here. It just, what's kind of wild too is, like, I wonder, how does Classicpro perform in this game if he won the first? Like, it has to have some type of an effect on how the players can go into such a difficult map after such a crazy game number 1. So, Hera up 2-0. We have one more map to play. It's still play all 3. Classicpro still just going to be seeking that 1 victory. Here's the positive. This is probably the hardest map to play in the entire map pool. So things get a little bit simpler. Obviously, if it gets simpler, then, maybe you could just say that then it makes it easier for Hera. But that would be forgetting what happened in game number 1, where Classicpro played like an absolute god and maybe should have won that. So we'll see. Hera, the best evacuation player there is. I mean, has he ever lost evacuation? Does anyone know? Hidden Cup 5, I think he won every time. I mean, it hasn't been played in many other tournaments, so it's probably less than 5 or 6 games, but I think he's an undefeated evac player. There's 28k res collected. And GG. They're wasting no time in between games. Either that or they're forgetting to put a spec delay. But my admins are keeping an eye on that, so I'm sure that's fine. We got Classicpro in the yellow, and then we got Hera in the blue again. And Classicpro, game number 1 was painful. I'm sure it'll keep him up at night. But if he wins here, it's all forgotten. You still got to get that victory from Hera. Hera wins this game. He is tied with Sato at 7 wins, but is ahead of Sato in the tiebreak. So Hera would be in the first place position in this group. Hera's earned $80 from these victories, so $40 per. Classicpro still was 0, but obviously there's still placement prizes and whatever else later on. And he did get wins already, so he's got some money in the bank through TTL so far. So yeah, the last time Hera played this map was against Sato, and he went Italians. And there are some bonuses that I could see Italians being good for here. They have the cheaper fishing ships. It's also cheaper to go up to the next stage, so it's not like there's 0 bonuses at play. But I don't find Italians to be near as mobile as some other civilizations can be on this map, or even near as flexible. So it's definitely far from what I consider to be the best civ, and I would consider the Lithuanians to be a little bit superior here. The Lithuanians can dock a little bit earlier and get the early fishing ships out. The Lithuanians have super fast spears and skirms, which could be helpful. And they also can go for, like, knights, cav archers. They've got good options there. Now, they're not the best cav archer civ. Italians could technically do the same, so they're kind of equal there. But yeah, I like the Lithuanians. It was just when Hera played as Italians last time, his opponent went, like, fast castle cav archers, which was just kind of weird. It didn't feel like a true test of how Hera will play Italians. Look at this deer. So I've talked about this countless times. The deers, like, they, like, hug resources right now. And I don't know how Hera got lucky for that to go back in front. But sometimes they just kind of get stuck, and it can be kind of annoying. We actually had to call admin restarts in some qualifications for TTL because of deer being stuck on the edge of the map. We couldn't move them off. Players couldn't move them off the edge of the map if they spawn there. Oh, man, that could be a dead vill for Hera. That's his dock vill, too. So that's down... If he loses this villager, that's not just down a fish. That's down... sorry, not just down the vill. That's also down the fish. That's massive for Classic Pro. That is massive. And also, Hera queued Loom. So now... And this is maybe a little risky, Classic Pro. Be careful. Because now your vill could die. But queuing Loom also means that Hera is down even an additional vill. Just because he hasn't produced one there. But Hera will not be happy about that. And Hera will see this vill doesn't have Loom. And will want to return the favor. And I think Classic Pro will not get Loom here. Because he... he's like, there's a chance they're going to lose the vill anyways. And I just prefer to produce another vill. And then Hera's going to bring his own villager. Yeah. Yeah, Classic Pro needs to run. Classic Pro's getting Loom. That vill's probably going to die. Well played from Hera. I like this. And that's what he needed to do. Classic Pro got a little overexcited there, in my opinion. I think after you snipe the vill, you just run away with your scout. Keep an eye on if something comes in. And if it does, you run away. But he clicks up. Hera clicks up as well. There are more units on the field now for Classic Pro because he got the fishing ships out earlier. Scout is also stronger for Classic Pro, which is a pretty big deal. And now the vills are going to box. A Hera could gain the hill there. The Classic Pro could do the same. All right, boxing gloves are off. T90 box in chat. Let's go. Don't cheat and bring your friend over, guys. Come on, be a man and just fight him 1v1. Oh, come on, you coward. You coward. He walled them in. He just walled them in. He said, you want to fight me? Nope. Oh, God. And now Classic Pro loses the scout to the TC. Oh, Classic Pro. Oh, he just... Oh, man. That's so painful. Well played from Hera, man. Well played. Scout's only on 2 HP, so it can't do much. But it can scout, and that's kind of a big deal here. Now, last time Hera played this, he also went to gold, and he opened archers and fire galleys. So he's going to do the same here. Classic Pro doesn't know exactly what Hera's going for, so this is where he might make like 4 spears before he even knows that Hera's not going to go for scouts. Hera's going to go for archers. Now, I've seen every game, so I know what Hera's opening was. I would imagine, like, the way Classic Pro plays and prepares, I imagine he definitely watched the games. Might have even, like, looked over the games with some other players to try and think out strats for this. But it's still not bad. Even if your opponent's opening archers, it's obviously not bad to go for scouts here. But you may need to eventually add some skirms. That's the thing. And this villager can get roasted through the walls. So he's going to die a horrible, 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 horrible death. Oh, look at him. You can tell it hurts. Oof. And nice job from Hera. And Classic Pro will bring another villager, I think, just to repair here. But he is holding some food. So don't toss the food onto the ship. That's gross, dude. Fire's on the way. Feels like some really good initiative for Hera right now, right? He was faster to feudal. That's Italians for you. And playing on the water, which is definitely what the Italians want to do. And Classic Pro isn't mining gold, or he doesn't have the golds. He can't repair continuously. Ship's going to go down. And now he's got another one that hops out at the worst possible time. And he'll even bring the scouts in here. But, Hera, he might have a demo on the way. But, ooh, he gets the kill. That's worth it for Hera. The demo takes the fire, it takes the fish. The fire will take the rest of the fish. Now, this doesn't guarantee that Hera fishes long-term, and there's really not a lot of food here. There's only 400. One more fire galley, and Hera can be overtaken there. But it's been really nice trades for Hera here. We lost his scout, by the way. I think his scout died over here somewhere. So Classicpro, this is the first time he's been to Hera's base in a while. And now he's going to see the blacksmith, and he's going to be like, wait, what? And so this is where he needs skirms. But guys, because he lost his scout to the TC, he has had no clue that Hera has opened with this. Like, losing the Vil is one thing, but losing the scouting intel is another. And he also, because he's late to all this, he's now not in a position to properly scout and know what to look for. And he doesn't know, like, did Hera move out with the archers? He has no clue. Hera could still be sitting within the range with the original archers. There's 2 archers there. So that seems like a pretty low count if Hera opened with it. But now he might be looking around, and he's going to find him right here on the wood line. Great job from Hera. That villager will die. More Vils will die as well. Poor Classicpro. It's just all bringing it back to that game number 1 right now. Hera should get the Vil there. And snipes the Vil as well, and the other Vil goes out. Yikes, dude. Yikes. There are scouts. There are scouts here from Classicpro. We'll snipe a Vil. But that's pretty devastating damage, man. I just think Classicpro, like, 80% of the gas he had in the tank, everything, almost everything that he had was put into that first game. And it really feels like he's really struggling now. Oh, man. Hera, actually pretty inefficient for his own eco here, honestly. But he does defend. The archers are still here. Yeah, the skirms are going down, which is so uncharacteristic for him, too. Hera can go scouts from this position, I think, and might be able to just finish off the game. Amazing performance from Hera. And you give him an inch, he'll take a mile. And the last 2 games, he's got quite a few opportunities to take advantage of. But it was just game 1, man, where Classicpro was he just kept sending it. He had so much aggression. It was so continuous. It was so fun to watch. And now it's 29 eco for Classicpro, 34 for Hera. But Classicpro, he's got a lot more scouts than I was expecting. He'll have 5 scouts on the field soon. Still producing more. One of them he lost track of and goes down. And so he'll make skirms in defense. Hera's now dropping the stable, and Hera's going to click up. But this is like... Hera's kind of defending with the bare minimum here. Like, this is... It was a similar thing in game number 1. Now, obviously, Hera didn't do a lot of damage game number 1, but, like, this is an exposed base. If Classicpro has the right timings here, Hera could have some real problems. But the problem is, Hera... The skirms can't go forward from Classicpro to snipe any spears. Because... Okay, nice kill there. Because the archers are at the base right now. And Hera's super far ahead here. Further ahead than the resources collected shows. But he does need to be careful here. Not just run into the TC. Microing back and forth. Skirms should probably chase that down. Hera also lost his scout over here. Classicpro could get a villager pick. Not grouped up on the same Vil there, though. Hera's not fishing in the middle. I think I might have missed a demo there at one point. And Classicpro demoed the fish, which was pretty smart. And the skirms. This is what you wanted with the Lithuanians the whole game. You want scouts active on the front. You want skirms in defense. And now the archers go down for Hera here. Still 5 scouts from Classicpro. And Hera about to reach Castle Age. Doesn't have the craziest amount of resources here. That's a lot of scouts. Hera still only has 1 spearman here. If the skirms were here right now, this would be sick. But, like, Classicpro doesn't realize. Again, just not quite as sharp, it feels. It's nice to see a relatable experience from a player this high. Poor Classicpro. You know, it's understandable from the human element that after the first game that maybe the second and the third wouldn't be quite as sharp. And Hera gets the 3-0. Crazy series. That first game, I'm going to remember for a very long time. I hate that to say this because right now it's We're only midway through the group stage, but we might not see a game that good in the rest of the whole tournament. Now, the stakes are going to be higher, so naturally, great games get even better as we move on to the playoffs and beyond. But man, what a heart-wrenching series here for Classicpro to not even get a win, and what a great performance there from Hera. Now, Nikov is somewhere in Argentina. If he's in Argentina, I think Nikov might be traveling at the moment. I don't know. But wherever Nikov is on this planet, Nikov right now is like, thank God. He's like, let's go, Hera. Because if Classicpro got that win, this would have made things so much more difficult for Nikov. Nikov's in my chat right now. Nikov, tell me you were like jumping up and down and screaming once Hera got that first victory, dude. Because the standings are going to look great for Hera at the top. That's kind of expected coming into this group. But after Classicpro already beat Nikov, Nikov needs to keep pace with him. And so this is where we're at in the group. So we input the results. Hera is now first place with a tiebreak over Sato. They're still going to fight pretty closely for first. You then have Barles at 5. You have Nikov at 4. And you have Classicpro at 3. Now, if for any of you nerds out there, you want to see what would have changed here. If Classicpro won that first game, chances go way up for Nikov in terms of relegation. And I think the key thing here that these stats don't take into account is who the players have yet to play. So you've got Hera gets to play Veleza and Barles, so it should be pretty interesting with Hera. Obviously, everyone's gotten wins off of Veleza. Veleza will probably be in better shape than he was the first few rounds, but now he's kind of out. So who knows if he'll be motivated there. Barles has played very good. But for Classicpro has to play Sato, and Classicpro also has to play Veleza. Honestly, Veleza's kind of like... Those final 2 sets are going to be interesting. Because I expect Veleza to get some wins there. So imagine Veleza gets a win off of Hera, and Veleza gets a win off of Classicpro. Like, I mean, the fact that Sato and Barles got the 3 over Veleza early could play a pretty big role there. We'll see. I don't know what Veleza's mindset's going to be like when his chances are so low. So, in theory, could be great for Classicpro that he's got the easier games remaining with Veleza, but I don't think they'll be easy. That's what the group looks like after this round. And that's what the group looks like after all the round 3 sets. So 7 wins for Hera, 7 wins for Sato, 5 for Barles, 4 for Nikov, 3 for Classicpro, and 1 for Veleza. If you're bottom 2, you're out. If you're 4th, you stay alive. And then if you're top 3, you get, if you're top 3, you go playoffs. So, great series there.